crazy?
What do you want?
Astro prime numbers.
That's right.
The scene starts with a very close-up view of an eyeball. As the camera pulls back, we see it belongs to Alderson, who wakes up in a strange, white cubic room with a hatch door on each wall, floor, and ceiling, making 6 doors in total. Curious, he spins a lever and opens one of the doors, finding that the next room is just like his, but a different color. He does this several times and decides to enter the orange room. As he steps inside, a sharp metal grate suddenly drops from the ceiling and cuts him into pieces, then goes back up, leaving his body neatly cubed. The scene shifts as Quentin enters a room and finds Worth unconscious. He opens a door and tries to wake him, and Holloway enters cautiously. Quentin and Holloway quickly realize they are trapped, and they hear Levin's terrified screams from a nearby room. Quentin brings her into the area, accidentally breaking her glasses. The tense atmosphere intensifies with the arrival of an older man, Ren, entering from an upper door. Quentin is confused, not remembering why they are there. He narrowly avoids a dangerous trap and realizes how risky the rooms are. They all begin a dangerous journey to find a way out. Ren leads them, showing them how to find traps by throwing a boot into rooms while holding on to the laces. This helps him see if there are any hidden traps. While he throws the shoe into one room, it suddenly catches fire, showing there are motion detectors. Ren quickly returns the shoe and tells everyone that entering that room would cause painful burns. This way, they can tell which places are safe and which are dangerous. As they go on, Holloway thinks about who might have made the cube, wondering if it was aliens or the government. If you think the cubes were made by aliens, then subscribe to the channel. Strange noises are heard outside, like a big elevator. Holloway thinks they might get rescued, but Quentin and Ren wonder if there's a way out and suggest moving straight ahead. Levin panics, fearing they'll never escape. But Quentin reassures her they'll find a way out. Ren says they should keep going straight. They agree and start moving forward room by room this way. Ren keeps throwing his shoe to check for traps. As they go, they see numbers on the doors between the rooms. Holloway figures there are thousands of rooms, and with no food or water, they'll only last 3 days. Ren suggests sucking a button to make saliva and ease thirst. Everyone does it, and they keep using the shoe trick as they go forward. Ren throws another shoe at one point, finding no traps but noticing the dry air. He thinks the room has a sensor for hydrogen sulfide from the skin. Quentin asks about Ren's skills, and he says he's escaped 7 prisons. Soon after, Ren jumps into a room he tested and acid sprays his face. They pull him back, but it's too late. The acid kills Ren painfully. The others realize that they must find a better way to test the rooms because some detectors only work on human beings. As they move ahead, Quentin asks everyone what they do. He says he's a police officer. Holloway claims to be a doctor, and Worth says he works in an office. Levin says she spends a lot of time socializing with friends. So, Levin is unemployed? Anyways, Quentin thinks there's a reason they're all in the cube, and it's not a coincidence. He wonders why Levin has glasses and Holloway has lost her jewelry. As they talk, Levin mentions she's good at math. The others tell her to use her skills to solve the cube, thinking it's a puzzle. In the next scene, Levin sees that rooms with prime numbers are dangerous. She shows the room where Ren was attacked, which was the number 149, a prime number. She checks the next room and finds no prime numbers, so it's safe. Everyone is impressed and praises her. Levin goes in confidently and shows the room is safe. They use prime numbers for hours to guide them. During this time, Quentin casually flirts with Levin and mentions he has 3 children and is divorced. They find rooms marked with prime numbers on every door, warning of traps ahead. Quentin investigates a door in the ceiling and suddenly Kazan falls down, repeating words and wanting to go to the blue room. Holloway thinks he has a mental disability. Levin wonders how he survived so far. When they decide to keep going, some group members see Kazan as a problem and hesitate to include him, but Holloway insists, so they let him join them. As they consider their current location, Holloway and Quentin discuss who might have made the cube. Holloway thinks it could be a government project, maybe built in a desert. Quentin thinks a rich person might have made it for fun, but Holloway laughs at this and says it's not true. Soon after, Quentin goes into a room without prime numbers and almost dies in a trap with sharp wires spinning. This shows that Levin's idea about safe rooms without prime numbers is wrong. Later, Quentin starts to suspect Worth of being a spy because he's been quiet since they met. The group then takes a break while Levin tries to figure out what the numbers mean. Later, Quentin tricks Worth into admitting that he's helped design the huge cube-shaped structure with all the rooms. When they ask who paid him, Worth says he never found out. He just wanted the money. Even though the group gets more tense, Worth tells him how big the cube is. 434 feet on the outside, and Levin figures out there are 26 rooms on each side, making 17,576 rooms in all. She says the numbers between the rooms might show where the rooms are in the cube. With this new information, the group decides to go toward the nearest edge. They keep using the boot trick to see if there's anything dangerous in the rooms. In the next scene, they find a room next to theirs that seems safe. But just as they're about to go through it, Kazan screams and sets off deadly traps. They see the room has a trap that's activated by sound, so it's dangerous to pass through. Quentin says they should leave Kazan behind, but Holloway says they have to take him with them. She even offers to go through the room with Kazan. After everyone safely navigates through the room, it's Quentin's turn. Unfortunately, Kazan accidentally triggers the trap, putting Quentin's life at risk. Quentin gets furious and attacks Kazan, but Holloway steps in to stop him. Quentin's anger then turns toward Holloway, and they start a big fight. Holloway accuses Quentin of preferring younger women, suggesting that's why his wife left him. Quentin gets so angry that he slaps Holloway several times. The group separates Quentin and Holloway from the rest for a while. After a short calm, they all decide to keep moving forward. Eventually, the group reaches one side of the cube, but there's a gap between the door and outer wall. They use their clothes to make a rope, and Holloway bravely volunteers to swing out and explore outside. She hangs on with the makeshift rope, but all she sees below is darkness. She tries to swing to the outer wall, but the rope is too short. As she hangs there, the cube suddenly shakes violently, almost making her fall into the void. Quentin manages to pull her back inside with the rope, but then he intentionally lets go of her hand, and she tragically falls to her death. Following Holloway's tragic death, Quentin lies to the group, saying she slipped and fell. This devastates everyone, but they decide they have to keep moving forward. They plan to drop to the bottom edge of the cube, but Levin suggests they rest because they're all exhausted. The group agrees and lies down on the floor to sleep. While they sleep, Quentin takes Levin to another room. He tries to convince her to leave the others and makes unwanted advances towards her. When she refuses, he becomes aggressive. Fortunately, Worth and Kazan wake up and come to her rescue. Quentin's issues with Holloway have caught up with him, and now the group suspects he killed her on purpose, which makes Quentin angry. In this rage, Quentin attacks and throws Worth into the next room, where Worth finds Ren's dead body. This discovery shocks Worth, but he also notices that the acid room where Ren died is no longer nearby, making the group realize the rooms are shifting. Levin figures out that the rooms with traps are all marked with prime power numbers, which are a larger set of prime numbers. With this new information, she begins calculating the position of room number 27, which is more than the expected 26, indicating it's likely a bridge room leading to the exit. She realizes this room will move twice before returning to its original position. She suggests checking for prime numbers to provide safety. However, she explains that calculating prime factors for each room without a computer is too complex of a task. Luckily, Kazan reveals he's autistic and impresses everyone by swiftly calculating the prime factors of 567. The group continues their detailed checks of each room's safety, using the calculations to verify if it's safe. To be doubly sure, Quentin throws trash across the room, confirming its safety when it lands intact. With Kazan's assistance, the group proceeds toward the exit without facing any problems. Worth makes a plan to handle Quentin, who has become paranoid. He lures Quentin into a room below and leaves him there, sealing his fate. The rest of the group continues on and finally arrives at the bridge room of the cube. When they open the door, bright light floods into the room. However, Worth decides to remain inside, convinced there is nothing for him outside of the cube. Suddenly, Quentin reappears and catches up with them. In a tragic twist, he kills Levin with a broken door handle and injures Worth with a powerful stab. Quentin then goes after Kazan, who is trying to climb out of the room. But before Quentin can reach him, Worth grabs his leg and holds on tight. The room starts shifting in the narrow space between them, causing Quentin to get stuck. He meets a gruesome end and is crushed to death. Worth, badly injured, manages to save Kazan's life before he passes away from his injuries. In the final scene, Kazan slowly leaves the cube, stepping out into the bright, blinding light, which might be the escape door they were all desperately searching for. And with this, the movie ends. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.